Hello, everyone. Welcome to 2D Board Gamers. My name is Dave.
And I'm Dirk.
And today we're going to take a look at the second villain in the Trickster Takeover
Loki
scenario pack.
God of Lies.
Yeah, and this is a different Loki than we had from Mad Titan Shadows. And there is a unique game mode, at least unique to Marvel Champions, which we'll go over.
Okay.
The other thing that's interesting is there's actually two main schemes.
All right, so this is the Worlds Collide. So whenever we want to do this, we're going to grab Loki God of Lies, and then we will grab a standard encounter set and one modular encounter set, and they suggest Trickster Magic. And for setup, we will create a separate game area for each player group. So this is one that you can either have, you can play it as a single table or you can play it as like a multiverse with multiple tables. But each group follows the instructions on Mischief and Mayhem A1.
1A.
1A. Yeah, that's what I meant. But this one, it does mention the encounter set. We do have a separate video that goes over the different encounter sets that we have. If you want to check that out, you can see all the different ones that come with the game, as well as what comes with Con of Heroes. There's some fun ones there. You should check that out to see. But moving on.
All right, so side B is dash dash, and it's 2 with a new symbol. So this is the which we'll go over here. Each regular single icon on Loki God of Lies counts as the total number of players in all game areas. So we've talked about multi from Con of Heroes, but this is the first official one. We've had it in Arkham before, so it's kind of the same kind of concept. Each multi icon on this scheme counts the total number of groups in all pods, and pods is a term where they recommend you. So if you have an event, say, of 20 tables, you kind of break each pod into, like, say, they say like maybe group like 4 tables into a pod, and each of this would be on the total number of groups in all pods. So if we had a 4-group pod, then this would have 8 threat on it, because 2 times 4, obviously. Cards cannot affect this scheme or Loki God of Lies unless they refer to those cards by title. Now, it's important that it's Loki God of Lies, which you'll see here in a minute.
And the important thing, though, is if that one's ever completed, then all players, if it's ever completed, the players lose the game.
All right. So they gave us this reminder card for some of the terminology. So we got group pods. A pod is a collection of groups. It is recommended that each pod not exceed 12 to 16 players, or roughly 3 to 4 groups within the same pod. So you can have 100 participants, and I believe at MCDC, which unfortunately we weren't able to go to, they might have had triple digits on the number of players in a Loki game. So, and I think the Brant from Step in the Portal ran Loki, from what I understand. So we also have a per group icon. If on a card in the group's game area, the group icon next to a value multiplies that value by the number of groups that begins a scenario in this pod. Now, if you're watching this and you were at MCDC and you participated in a Loki, we would love to hear comments, about what you thought of it, because this is definitely something that I'm hoping we can do at Con of Heroes next year. Playing in separate game areas. Each player group on its own game area has its own game, unless explicitly stated. Players, cards, and components in one game area cannot affect another game area. And then we have cross-group communication. Cross-group communications is allowed and highly encouraged. So when they say cross-group, I would assume they're talking about in the pod. All right, and then this, we'll get to this side of that card when we get that's referencing a specific thing that we'll get to.
All right, so moving on into setup then. So Mischief and Mayhem. So this is the main scheme for the regular main scheme. But this one, after resolving the Worlds Collide A, you're going to then do the following here. So you're going to put a random avatar of Loki villain into play. We'll go over those in a minute. Set each other one out of play, and the Shattered Illusions card. And then you're going to put each synergy environment into play, and I believe there's 4 of those.
Yeah.
And then in standard mode, set the intense focus attachment aside. In expert mode, you're going to attach it to the avatar of Loki that is in play from step 1.
Right. And so this is each individual table
is going to
has their own Mischief and
Yes.
Mayhem. So this is so if you have a four pod, a four table pod, each table in that pod would have their own copy of this. So this is Mischief and Mayhem Side 1B. Starts with 0 threat, add 1 threat per player, has 8 threat per player threshold, force interrupt. When this scheme would be completed, remove all threat from here and place 1 threat on Worlds Collide, which is the epic main scheme, which is this one that we went over. When an identity would be defeated, change the identity's form to alter ego, set its hit point dial back to 1, and place 1 threat on Worlds Collide. So if Worlds Collide pops, like what we said, if we had a 4-table pod, this is the only way we add threat. If we ever get 8 threat here, then that entire pod loses the game. So this is the only way that, so the 4 tables kind of have to work together a little bit, but you got to be careful because if you're careless, not only are you affecting your game, you're affecting everybody else.
Well, no, this is not just the pod. This is all groups and all pods.
No, this part is just for the pod. It's the hit points on Loki is all of them.
Oh,
because that's the per pod. Oh no, you're right. Number of groups in all pods.
yeah.
Oh yeah, okay. For this part, yeah. I'm sorry.
So that's the entire group.
Yeah. So, but you can affect the entire group. Then yeah. All right.
All right.
So we have never played this multiplayer.
Yeah. So we've got Loki, God of Lies, stage 1. So this is he's an Asgard mystic. His scheme and attack are blank, but if he has if he has 10 or fewer remaining hit points per player, you're going to flip this card over.
Right.
And it has 20 hit points per player.
And that is for
in the pod.
That's for the entire event. So if you have 20 tables of 4 players each, that's 800 hit points that he's going to have.
Oh, okay. Yes.
And then on side 2, Loki God of Lies, when revealed, each group in standard mode is going to attach the set-aside intense focus to the avatar Loki in their game area. Each group in expert mode is going to flip the intense focus to total focus. And if Loki God of Lies is defeated, all players in all groups win the game.
And 20 hit points per player.
Oh yeah, 20 hit points per player. Okay, so here's the intense focus.
Okay, so the intense focus attachment. So this is the one you use in standard or that you start with in expert. But it's a permanent. The avatar of Loki villain gets +2 hit points per player and gains steady. Gives a +1 scheme and +1 attack. And whenever revealed in standard mode, discard the top 2 cards per player of the encounter deck and the top 5 cards of each player deck.
All right. And then the total focus, this is when you go to Loki 2 in expert, gets +1 scheme, +1 attack, permanent. The avatar Loki villain gains +3 per player hit points and gains steady. Again, that's just for your specific table. When revealed, discard the top 2 cards of the encounter deck and the top 5 cards of each player deck. Find the Dark Scepter and reveal it. If Dark Scepter did not enter play this way, give the avatar Loki villain a tough status card. So what's kind of nice with this is that you can have some people, if they're more comfortable playing standard, and some people want to play expert. That's not going to affect the overall multi-player experience.
Yes. It will just affect your table.
Yeah. All right, so the Dark Scepter.
All right, so the Dark Scepter attachment, you're going to attach this to the avatar of Loki villain, gives them +1 attack, and they gain Stalwart. Treacheries cannot be canceled while this is in play, and as a hero response, after you resolve a treachery, spend 2 resources of the same type to discard this card.
Yeah, so if you're making a Scarlet Witch deck that likes to cancel treacheries, well, you're going to have to deal with that. All right, so there are 4 avatars of Loki. So again, each table would have their own Loki.
Own set of
their own set of 4. So here we have Loki the Rascal, 1 scheme, 1 attack, avatar of Loki. Force response. After you resolve a boost card during Loki the Rascal's activation, if that card is a treachery, either deal it to yourself as a face-down encounter card, or you can spend a resource of any type. When the villain would be defeated, you get to place 5 per player shatter counters here and flip the card instead.
Okay, and that was, I think it was 15 hit points per player?
Yes, that's what
15. Oh, okay.
I thought I said that.
You might have. All right, so the Fading Figment. This is an illusion. It has no scheme or attack, but when revealed, The Shatter the Illusion, and you're going to see the set aside card, which we'll pull up here in a second. But you're going to choose a group in your pod, then place energy counters on their unified front environment equal to the number of players in their group.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so when you shatter an illusion, so when you defeat one of the avatars, when a fading figment is revealed, you're going to follow these steps to shatter Loki's illusion. So you're going to remove each shatter counter from fading figment, then deal damage to Loki God of Lies equal to the number of shatter counters removed this way. So if you're playing Epic Multi, this you would like tell this to the event organizer so they can deduct it from the hit points. Now in the booklet, they kind of talk like, you could have Loki's total hit points like on a whiteboard, or you have it on somewhere that the whole event can see how many hit points. So it's like, hey, all right, we did 20 because we have 4 players and we had 5, so knock 20 health off of Loki God of Lies health. You tell the event organizer that. Then you can swap the fading figment and play with a random set aside villain avatar Loki, so that would be one of the other 3. Then set the hit point dial of that avatar Loki villain back to its printed hit point value, and then deal each player face down encounter card. So now they all have 15 health per player, but if you've got the intense focus or the total focus, then they're going to get extra hit points, obviously.
Yep.
Right. And that one was which?
That was A.
No, unified front. Okay. Yeah. So the unified front.
Oh, okay. So the unified front. So this is one of the environments that it tells you to put in play at the beginning. So this is a synergy with permanent max 1 synergy counter per player here. And as a resource, you can remove 1 synergy counter here to generate 2 wild resources.
Right. So when you defeat your Loki, the rascal, then you get to choose a group in your pod, and then I get to put that many synergy counters. So you kind of look around, and if they already have counters on it, well, then you might want to pick a group that has no counters on it, so they can get the maximum number of counters that they can have on their united front. If you are playing single table, then it says your group is just you, so you would get it for your group.
Yes.
All right, then we got Loki the Miscreant. 1 scheme to attack avatar Loki. Force response. After resolve a treachery, place 1 threat on the main scheme and 1 threat on a side scheme. Again, this is just your main scheme, not the Worlds Collide one. Force interrupt. When the villain would be defeated, you place 5 shatter counters here and flip the card over. And then we follow the shatter illusion again.
Yep. And so this is all the same on the backside as it was before. So you'll do this. You'll go to the shatter illusion.
But it's for this card.
And the mounting resistance environment, again, synergy permanent, max 1 synergy counter per player. But as an interrupt, whenever a friendly character thwarts, you can remove 1 counter from here, and that thwart removes 4 additional threat.
Pretty nice. All right, the third avatar we have is Loki the Knave. 2 scheme, 1 attack, avatar Loki. After resolve a treachery, deal 1 damage to your identity and 1 damage to an ally you control. And in force response, that's the same. You're going to put 5 shatter counters per player and flip the card. And we follow the shatter of the illusion.
Yep.
For this time, domineering force.
So the domineering force, so this one, everything's the same, but the interrupt is whenever a friendly character attacks, remove 1 synergy counter, and that attack deals 4 additional damage.
Okay. Then we got Loki the Wretch. Force interrupt. When Loki the Wretch activates against you, discard the top card of the encounter deck. If a treachery was discarded this way, Loki the Wretch gets +1 scheme and +1 attack for this activation. Force interrupt. Again, you place 5 shatter counters. You flip it to the fading figment and shatter the illusion for this card.
And this one, you're going to get the feigned retreat. So this one, the interrupt for this is when an identity would take any amount of damage. You can remove a synergy counter and prevent 4 of that damage. Now, one thing before we move on that I actually thought was really cool that I loved about this is you notice even though they all have the same artwork, the coloration of it is slightly different on each of them. And then if you flip it over, that coloration still follows and matches. I liked that. It's the same artwork, but with just different coloration for each one. I thought it was kind of cool.
All right. So, unhindered by anything else, if you defeat all 4 of your avatars, you've done enough damage to defeat Loki, God of Lies, because it's 20 shatter counters per player. And of course, he's got 20 health. When he gets halfway damage, of course, then you're flipping to stage 2. So Um, Basically, at not counting this pile of cards I have right here, you have to defeat all 4 avatars, and you will exactly take out Loki. But we have cards that's going to mess with that and beneficial,
better and worse.
better and worse. Yes.
All right, so the first one we've got here is wrapped in chains. So this is a condition that you attach to your identity. You cannot ready when this is attached to you. When revealed, you exhaust yourself. And as a hero action, you can spend 2 resources of the same type to discard this and place 1 shatter card on the avatar.
Right. So now, in addition to the 5 per player, you got 1 extra shatter counter. Then we got a Drugar Buddy, 0 scheme, 1 attack, 2 copies, 2 hit points. He's undead, guard. The defeating player discards the top card of the encounter deck. If that card is a treachery, deal him to the player as a face down encounter card.
Okay. Then we have Grendel. So Grendel is a dark elf brute with 6 hit points, schemes for 1, attacks for 1, has guard. But as a force interrupt, whenever he attacks, you're going to discard the top 3 cards of the encounter deck. And for each treachery card discarded this way, he gets +1 to the attack. And whenever he's defeated, you're going to place 3 shatter counters on the avatar.
All right. Then we got Malekith. 2 scheme, 2 attack, 5 hit points. Dark elf. Ooh, dark elf. Retaliate 1. Force response. After he attacks you, discard the top card of the encounter deck. If that card is a treachery, deal it to yourself as a face down encounter card. And when defeated, place 2 shatter counters on the avatar Loki. Yeah, whenever I hear that name, I kind of think of the Big Lebowski version of Thor when he's describing, the Reality Stone, Thor 2 basically plot.
All right. So then we have the Minotaur, who is a brute creature with 4 hit points, schemes for 2, attacks for 2. He has toughness. And whenever he's revealed, if there are 5 or more treacheries in the counter discard pile, he's going to activate against you. And whenever he's defeated, you're going to place 2 shatter counters on the avatar.
Okay. So now the next card here, this is interesting. This is pod related. So the Mangog, 3 scheme, 4 hit points. He's got 10 hit points per that multi symbol, which is that's
per pod.
The
group in the pod.
Yeah, number of groups in that specific pod. So he could have 40 health. Say if you have a 4 group pod. Victory 1, any player in your pod can attack the Mangog as if it was in their game area. And when defeated, each group in your pod gets to place 3 shatter counters on the avatar of Loki villain that they're currently fighting, and 1 synergy counter on one of their synergy environments. So this is definitely where you want to encourage, to talk to other tables at your pod. Say, hey, we got a Mangog. And if, their aggression player may say, hey, okay, I'm going to attack, or if they have an AoE, because it does say they can attack as if it was in your game area. So, if they got a home technique dive bomb, even if they're not targeting Mangog specifically, it's at least 5 damage plopping on them,
Yep.
And it's kind of weird. It's like just up from out of the blue. Oh, here's some more damage for you.
Yeah, but he's got the victory, so you only get to do that once.
Yeah, but each group has one in their deck.
Yeah.
So Mangog could show up 4 times,
All right, so then we've got the Fenris Wolf. So he is an elite creature with 7 hit points. Schemes for 1, attacks for 1, or schemes for 1, attacks for 2. Has guard and patrol, and whenever defeated, place 3 shatter counters on the avatar, and choose a group in your pod, then place 1 synergy counter on their mounting resistance environment.
Okay, I'm probably going to butcher this name, but I'm going to call it Harzvilgar. 2 scheme, 2 attack, 7 hit points. Creature, elite. When revealed, you're going to discard the top 3 cards of the encounter deck. If a treachery was discarded this way, take 2 indirect damage. When defeated, you get to place 3 shatter counters on the avatar Loki villain. Choose a group in your pod, then you get to place 1 synergy counter on their domineering force environment. Which one was the domineering force? That's the attack one, right?
The domineering force, yeah, I believe so. Yes.
That was the attacky one. Okay.
Okay, then we've got Laufey. So he is an elite giant with 7 hit points, schemes for 2, attacks for 3. As a force response, after a character attacks him, you're going to discard the top card of the encounter deck. And if that card's a treachery, you're just going to stun the attacker. And then whenever he's defeated, you're going to place 3 shatter counters on the avatar. Choose a group in your pod, place a synergy counter on their unified front environment. So that is the unified front is the resource one.
Yeah, that's actually kind of nice, so like you defeat it, then you can walk around and says, "Oh, here, why don't you get a synergy so you can have some more resources?" All right, then we have the Aura of Stasis is a side scheme. It's got 4 threat and a symbol Dirk doesn't remember. When revealed, discard the top 2 cards of the encounter deck, top 3 instead in expert mode. If a treachery was discarded this way, exhaust your identity.
It's a bang symbol.
It's a bang! Yeah. Oh, you said it first.
Crisis.
All right.
Crisis, I remember it. All right, then we have the Door Between Worlds. So this has 7 treachery per pod. It's got victory 1
For groups in the pod.
per group in the pod. Yeah. And then any player in your pod can thwart the door as if it were in their game area. And whenever defeated, then each group in your pod places 3 shatter counters on their avatar of Loki and 1 synergy counter on one of their synergy environments. It has an acceleration, it has a crisis, and it has a hazard icon on it.
Okay. Then we got 2 copies of Lofty Goals. It's got 5 threat. When defeated, place 2 shatter counters on the avatar of Loki villain. It's an acceleration token. Boost. Take 1 indirect damage for each character you control.
Yeah, it doesn't say on each character, it's for each character. So you can spread that out. All right, then we've got New Jotunheim. So this side scheme has 6 threat. And then when defeated, you're going to place 3 shatter counters on the avatar of Loki. And choose a group in your pod and place 1 synergy counter on their Feigned Retreat environment. And the Feigned Retreat is the damage prevention one. And this one has an acceleration token on it.
All right, then we got 2 copies of Dark Arts Treachery. In expert mode, this card gains Insight 1. When revealed, search the encounter discard pile for a minion and reveal it. Otherwise, you place 3 threat on the main scheme. And as a boost, place 1 threat on the main scheme for each character you control.
Okay. We have the Dirty Trick, because it's Loki, of course. Dirty Tricks. So whenever this treachery is revealed, you're going to remove a shatter counter from the avatar. You're going to take 2 damage and 3 if you're playing in expert mode. If it comes out as a boost, you're going to take 1 indirect damage for each character you control.
All right. And then we got 3 copies of Stories and Lies. Of course, it's Loki, so of course there's Lies. When revealed, swap the avatar Loki villain in play with a random set-aside avatar Loki villain. Then, if Loki the Knave or Loki the Miscreant is in play, he schemes with +1 scheme. If in expert mode, if Loki the Rascal or Loki the Wretch is in play, he attacks you with +1 attack in expert mode. Okay. All right. And then the suggested modular set is Trickster Magic. And this is all about epic minions being
epic.
being tricked. No, not being epic, because they're being tricked and manipulated by Loki. So first of all, we got Absorbing Man here.
All right, so Absorbing Man is a brute elite enthralled minion with 7 hit points. He schemes for 2, he attacks for 1. He has guard and victory 1. And then while he's engaged with you, he gets +X attack, where X is the printed cost of the highest cost card that you control. And whenever he's defeated, the player who defeated that minion puts the set-aside Absorbing Man ally into play under their control. And since he has victory, he goes away.
But he becomes this. Absorbing Man ally, it costs 3. So, I mean, there is a chance that you end up discarding him and he gets in your deck. So if you want to replay him again.
Or if anything references cost of cards.
Yeah. 1 thwart, 1 attack. Both have 2 consequential. 3 hit points, Defiant, Linked, Absorbing Man. So, it starts out of the game. Victory 0 does not count against your ally limit. When Absorbing Man attacks or thwarts, exhausts an upgrade or support you control, Absorbing Man gets +X to that power for this use when X is the card's printed cost. So it's really nice if you can use an upgrade that doesn't matter if it's exhausted or not. Like the Quinn Carrier, well, that kind of sucked because then you couldn't use it. But if you did it, like I say, on one of those conditionings, the ones that give you +1 stat and 3 hit points, it doesn't matter if that's exhausted or not.
Yeah, but it is a maximum of 3. Right. So try not to do the 6 cost helicarriers.
Yeah, the Iliad, that would be,
yeah,
unless you have no other choice.
Sure. All right, next then we have Titania. So she is a brute elite that's enthralled with 8 hit points. She schemes for 1, she attacks for 3, the steady and victory 1. Her attacks gain overkill, and the player who defeats her is going to get the set-aside Titania ally.
Yeah. So the other thing I like is the allied versions are still do kind of the same thing as the minion version, which is kind of
Yeah.
nice. So Absorbing Man was all about upgrades and stuff. Titania is about overkill. She costs 4 if you have to replay her again. 2 thwart, 3 attack with 2 consequential, 5 hit points. She's defiant. The linked and victory, that's the same. But now Titania's attacks gain overkill and piercing. So she still has overkill and she gained piercing.
All right, next up we have Whirlwind. So he's elite enthralled with 6 hit points, schemes for 2, attacks for 1. He has quick strike along with victory. After he attacks, you take 1 indirect damage for each side scheme that is in play. And whenever you defeat him, whoever defeats him gets the Whirlwind ally.
Yep, and the Whirlwind ally, he costs 4, 1 thwart, 0 attack, 3 hit points. When Whirlwind attacks, remove 1 threat from each scheme in play. For each threat removed this way, he gets +1 to the attack. So he's still playing with the side schemes, which is fun.
Right. And then we have Zack. So he is an elite enthralled minion with 6 hit points, schemes for 1, attacks for 2. He has retaliate 1 along with the victory. Whenever he's revealed, you're going to discard the top 4 cards of your deck, and for each printed energy resource discarded, you'll take an indirect damage. And of course, whoever defeats him gets the Zack ally.
So Wonder Man's like going, ouch, because he probably was going to take 4 damage. But then he's going to like him as an ally. Cost 3 thwart with 2 consequential, 1 attack, 4 hit points, defiant, the linked, victory 0, that part's the same. But after he enters play now, search the top 5 cards of your deck for a card with a printed energy resource and add it to your hand.
All right, now we have the Trickster Tango side scheme. So this has 4 threat. While this is out, the villain gains Stalwart. This has 2 acceleration tokens on it, and if it comes out as a boost, if it's on an attack, the attack gains overkill.
All right, then we have Puppet Master side scheme. It comes in with 2 threat. In expert mode, the scheme gains hinder 1. Allies cannot thwart this scheme or defend against the villain's attack, and it has a hazard. And then the final card.
The last card we have is the Love Triangle. So it's different from the Love Shack. So this is an attachment. You're going to attach it to an ally you control. If you can't, then the card will gain Surge. But the attached villain cannot attack the villain, or the attached ally cannot attack the villain or defend against the villain's attacks. And as an alter ego action, you can exhaust the attached ally and spend a mental resource to discard this card. All right.
Tin Roof. Rusted.
All
right. Anyways, so that was Loki. It was great seeing another design by Michael Boggs coming back, so that was fun. It's also was fun to see the epic multiplayer come from Arkham, into Marvel Champions. Although we have yet to experience it. We played against Loki, in a single.
We just haven't had the chance to do the epic yet.
Yeah, I mean, for us, an epic multiplayer would be 2 solo games at the same time. That's not very epic. So it's like, oh, look here, I give you 1 synergy counter, Dirk. Here you go. Oh, you gave me 1 too now. Great. Yay. So we haven't had a chance, but so hopefully, Con Heroes 2026, somebody will be doing that. If we don't do it as part of the official con, I'm sure, maybe it'll pop up in the hotel one night. So
that'd be cool.
That would be pretty cool. And like I said, if anyone who played this, like say at Gen Con or at MCDC, would like to, I'm really curious on how it plays, and any road bumps or just like the great event organizer that was making it fun and stuff. I kind of think that MCDC, because like I heard the Brant ran as Loki, and I'm sure he made it really fun for the group. So anyways, this is so this was an extra product in the Agents of Shield wave. So next we're going to do the encounter sets, and then there is a bonus video from Con Heroes that we're going to do as well. So thank you for watching, everyone. Please like and subscribe.
And if you want to see more content by us, go and hit that notification bell down there, and you'll get alerts whenever we post new videos. All right, see you.